This is your guide to dating, mating, and relating. Welcome back to Soul in the City. Erica Diamond is joining me again today, and we're about to welcome our guest today, Erica.
Let's bring her on.
Let's bring her on. So Heidi Krantz, she is a professional life coach and the founder of Reinvention Life Coaching, something that we all need to reinvent ourselves. Welcome to the show, Heidi.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. I think tonight is a great night here in Montreal. I hope the same is there in New York City. And thank you for taking time to join us.
Really excited about it.
So I want to kind of get into this because we're talking about spring cleaning our dating lives and our relationship lives, let's say. And I want to know, like, for somebody who's been in a relationship for a long time, what do you say is the first step once they're divorced to getting back there and cleaning out? Like, what's the first thing that they should clean out?
So I think they really want to clean out whatever limiting beliefs they have about going forward, whatever is limiting them from recognizing that huge opportunity is ready and waiting for them. And whatever those critical voices are and the chatter in their minds that are telling them otherwise, that's what really needs to be cleaned out first.
I want to stop right there for a second because a lot of people don't know what limiting beliefs are. And I do different exercises with my clients about finding their limiting belief. Why don't you tell us what that is?
Yes. So limiting beliefs is generally, I would say, sweeping generalizations about the world that we believe, stemming from our childhood or stemming from, maybe what the media says or what our peers are telling us. So it might be, there are no good guys out there. So my question is, there are no good guys out where? In New York, in the United States, in the universe? Where are there no good guys? But this can be an ingrained limiting belief. And there are several that men and women have about each other. And there are several that people have about negative images about what post-divorce might be like for them.
I would love to hear, so sometimes these things I know personally are easier said than done, right? We want to wake up, we want to be positive, we want to be enthusiastic about our future. So I would ask you, Heidi, what is kind of the first thing that we can do if we're waking up and we're feeling negative about our love life or our career? What is maybe an exercise or something that we can do to change, the wind, the dynamics of what's going on and look, how do we pick ourselves up?
The self-affirmation.
And self-motivate.
Yeah, so that's a great question, and this is, something I work on very often with my clients who are kind of moving from breakup to breakthrough and looking to move on. And you want to really start by asking yourself the question, what is something that I felt held back from accomplishing or doing in my previous relationship? So that could be something in any aspect of your life. What is something that I felt held back from in my previous relationship that I can do now? And I get the greatest answers from clients when they think about that. People have felt held back from so many things in their life, whether it's career, losing weight, laughing, dancing, singing, traveling, going back to school. It can be any of those and, thousands more.
It's breaking those patterns. You're saying about breaking patterns, really, then.
Yeah. What did I feel held back from that I can now embark on accomplishing? And then, taking it a step further now, what is one baby step I can take towards that which I felt held back from that I can now do? So whether that is, making new friends, going back to school, traveling, dancing, what's a baby step that I can take towards that this week and begin to make it happen?
You're listening right now to Heidi Krantz, who's joining us from New York City, and she is a life coach and as well the founder of Reinvention Life Coaching. I want to talk about that baby steps because, and at Reinvention, I'll tell you, I especially recently even have been approached by so many women saying, I wish I could reinvent myself the way you did and everything. And one of the things I say is it took baby steps. I didn't go from there to here in, 365 Days to Find Love was a blog, but that's 3 years ago. And if I thought, if somebody told me then, oh, you're going to start Soul in the City and host a radio show, I would have gone, whoa, wait, not happening. It was baby steps. And I think that's, if people looked at that, it wouldn't be as daunting. And then we kind of get there slowly and more strong as well, right? It's kind of like walking into the gym. I want people to out there kind of imagine this. You walk into the gym and you want to get in shape and you want to lose 20 pounds. You can't just do that. You have to go in, you have to be, ready to commit to it. You have to also learn how to use the equipment. You have to start off slow, get stronger. Your muscles get stronger. You go from 5 pounds to 10 pounds. That's the same thing in relationships, right, Heidi?
We're quickly to just jump
Absolutely.
in. We are not a patient society.
Welcome Tinder.
Right. All good things take time and love and patience and nurturing. And so all these things take self-care. You don't just get from here to there by wishing, for it. You got to work for it, and even work through those are the biggest breakthroughs are where you work through the tough. You really open up the wound and you really see what went wrong and how can I make a change and do the next, like we said, the next right thing and then the next right thing and then the next right thing, not looking towards the end, but looking at the next right move for yourself.
Right. Well, it's kind of like an elevator. You have to go from the first floor to the second, all the way to the 10th floor. You can't just hop over, right? So is there something like a self-affirmation type ritual that you would recommend to people to do?
So, I do a lot of affirmations with people that are very personalized to each, individual client. But, one simple exercise that I work on with people is kind of creating a list of your positive traits. And this is something that we kind of don't often do for ourselves. We don't often recognize what's special and fabulous about each of us. And we want to be able to really name that and articulate it so that we can go out into the dating world when we're ready to do that, knowing what we bring to the table, and we can go out on those job interviews knowing what we bring to the table. So very often one of my first kind of coaching assignments for the week is creating a list of 20 positive traits about yourself. And they can be anything from the superficial, to the deep, anything about your appearance, about your personality, your character, your spirit, your talents, and kind of really keeping that list close by and keep on building it every week, adding traits on there, reading it over, and really getting it into all the cells of your body.
I think and owning it too, right? Really, owning those traits.
I think that's one of the hard things for people to do is you think about all the things that you want, but or all the things you want to be, right? But then you have to own it. And you can't just say, well, I want to be stronger. You have to slowly get there. And even on that, I was just speaking with a woman on the way to studio tonight, and she said to me, I wish I was as strong as some of the women that I see. And I said, you are. We all are. We all own it.
Yes.
It's just we have to nurture it, and we have to feed it, and we have to let ourselves grow. And as you're saying, Erica, own it.
You got to own it.
You got to own it.
And that comes with time. It doesn't come right away.
Some of the ways of kind of looking for those traits to include in your list of 20 are really asking yourself, what was it about me that got me through this difficult time, through this breakup, or through this divorce? How did I get through it? What did I rely on about myself? And then you start getting traits that come out like, well, I'm resilient, and I'm smart, and I'm determined, and I'm tenacious, and all of those great qualities that you might not be recognizing unless you're put to the task of really composing a list.
It seems like a great also self-esteem building exercise, Heidi.
Yeah. They are.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, Heidi, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all your words of wisdoms. That's Heidi Krantz. She is a professional life coach and the founder of Reinvention Life Coaching. And how can people reach you if they want to, Heidi?
Visit me on my website at reinventionlifecoaching.com. And you have my contact information there, my upcoming events, and options of one-to-one coaching. Any questions, thoughts, comments about what you heard today or anything that you see on my site, I'd love to talk with you about it.
Okay.
Reinventionlifecoaching.com.
Thank you so much, Heidi. And coming up next, our guests have come up with a dating spring cleanup, and they'll be joining me at the Love Table. You're listening to Solo in the City on CJAD 800.